Hello. So today we're going to talk about what is Townscape in Urban Design by Gordon Cullen. So it was a seminal book by Gordon Cullen published in 1961. So basically this is a first version of this book. So let's see. The Gordon Cullen is focused how to design cities that are usually engaging, emotionally rich, and memorable. So he rather than just talking about buildings, Cullen also show how space, sequence, and perception affect our experience of urban design. So then, who is Gordon Cullen? Basically, he loved to make a quotes like, "The human eye is terribly easily bored." So he is a British architect or urban design and also a illustrator. And he worked as an editor and writer for the Architecture Review magazine. He best known for shaping the townscape movement in post-war Britain. He also, through detailed sketches and essay, he introduced a human-centered visual approach to design city. So, another quote about him, would like to talk about townscape is the art of manipulating the visual raw materials of the town to create a sense of place. So, what makes the book is unique? So basically, the Cullen blends theory and illustration in hand draw perspective, serial sketches, street scenes, serial vision, moving through space, or visual relationship. What can we talk about is the contrast, rhythm, and enclosure. So the last one is the creating emotional impact in urban design. So basically, the Gordon Cullen is live from in 1914 until in 1994. Let's talk about what is townscape in urban design. The townscape is the study of how we see, feel, and move through a city. It's about visual experience, not physical layer only. So on his serial vision, we can see the unfolding view as a person move through space. And the next is place the atmosphere or character of a space like a cozy, open, sacred, livery, and the others more. And we're gonna talk about the content. He talked about the furnishing of a space, paper signs, materials, color, and life. So color also include about visual contrast, using opposites like tight, white, light or dark, low or high to create a dark drama. And he also include about human perception. So the design based on how people see and feel, not just technical requirements. And we also guess why is it matters. So Townscape brings back the human perspective into city planning. He also helped design a team of streets, building, and open space as part of visual and emotional story. It guides how to create surprise and delight, meaningful place, like a city that feels alive and narrative driven. That's all.
Hi, my name is Haziq Nabi Muhammad Helmi. I want to present to you about the functional tradition. First of all, about definition. The functional tradition refer to an approach to town planning and architecture. First point, we have fundamental principle and have a 7 point to explain. First of all, about form follow function. I take an example from Kampung Baru, Kuala Lumpur. The design or shape of a building should come from what it means to do. It is because Kampung Baru have social identity, act as a center for the Malay community. Second point is organic development. I take a Masjid Kota Iskandar Puteri Johor Bahru because the mosque is surrounded by garden inspired by classic Islamic garden. Like the definition is explained about the natural gradual growth of the town and the building over time and daily human use. Third, visual coherence through variety. Cempaka Sari Auditorium, Putrajaya. Make space that connect with people emotionally. Cempaka Sari Auditorium Putrajaya because it is the auditorium design reflect traditional Malay elements such as flora motifs. Fourth, human scale. Putra Harbour, Iskandar Puteri, Johor Bahru. The building should feel walkable, welcoming and appropriately scaled for daily life. As we know, Puteri Harbour Iskandar Puteri is a open space and a green space for a landscape, and the scale between the buildings are different size. Next point is adaptability. Ilham Tower, Kuala Lumpur. Building and space are designed in a way that they can change and evolve over time. Next, contextual design. Sultan Abu Samad Building, Kuala Lumpur. designed to fit their surrounding physically, culturally, and historically. As we know, in front of the Sultan Abdul Samad Building, Kuala Lumpur, gathering or meeting space for user. Next, serial vision, KLCC Park, Kuala Lumpur. A town should be experienced as a journey, not just as a plan on a paper. So the next slide I want to present to you about the function tradition is they change to match the local weather, cultural and needs. I have a 6 visual element. First, scale, the size of building and space in relation to the human body. Second, texture, the surface quality of material like brick, stone or wood. Next, enclosure, how buildings or walls surround a space to create a sense of a room outdoor. Fourth, contrast, the use of opposite, light and dark, open and closed, smooth and rough. Next, hierarchy, the idea that some elements are more visually important than others. Locality, design that reflect local culture, material and climate. That's all for me.
Serial vision. What is serial vision? Cullen explains that when we walk through a city or a town, we don't see everything at once. Instead, we encounter a progression of spaces, vistas, and architectural elements. He called this experience serial vision, much like watching frames in a film. The key idea of serial vision is the concept that a town or city is understood as a series of visual experiences, revealed over time as we walk through it like frames in a movie. The main points for serial vision is the first focuses on movement through space. The second one is views are revealed and concealed, creating surprise, rhythm, and drama. The third one is encouraging, engaging, and memorable urban design through spatial sequences. There are 8 elements that are derived from Cullen's descriptive writing, diagrams, and illustrated case studies found mainly in the serial vision chapter and throughout the book. The first one is viewer emotion. The concept of viewer emotion is the city is experienced through movement. Each step reveals a new scene. The example of viewer emotion is Jonker Street, Malacca, and Ramblas, Barcelona. The second element is enclosure and release. The concept of enclosure and release is a movement from tight enclosed spaces into open areas, creates contrast and rhythm, and enhances spatial drama. The example of enclosure and release is Kampung Baru, Kuala Lumpur, and Plaza San Marco in Venice. The third one is frame views. Frame views is architectural or landscape elements guide the eye to a specific frame visual. The example of frame views is Putrajaya Boulevard and Eiffel Tower from the Trocadero, Paris. The fourth one is anticipation and surprise. The concept of anticipation and surprise is a hidden views from the curves, banks, and barriers hide what's next, then reveal significant elements creating suspense and drama. The example of anticipation and surprise is Petronas Twin Tower from Jalan Piramli and Seek to Al-Khazni, Petra Jordan. The fifth element is serial vision. Is landmark and focal points. The concept of landmark and focal points is strong visual elements help orient the viewer and enhance memory of place. The example of landmark and focal point is Menara KL Tower and St. Paul Cathedral, London. The next one is change in level or direction. The concept of change in level or direction is stair slopes or turns enrich the sequence by changing perspective and pace in elevation change, or turn, shift, perspective, and add complexity. The example of change in level or direction is Penang Hill and Montjuic, Barcelona. The next one is texture and detail. The concept of texture and detail is rich surfaces and small-scale features give depth and intimacy to the experience. The example of texture and detail is Cheongfat Mansion, Penang, and Old Town, Prague. The last one is contrast and variety. The concept of contrast and variety changes shape in material, light, or form keep the experience visually stimulating. The example of contrast and variety is Islamic Arts Museum Malaysia, KL, and Fushimi Inari Shrine in Kyoto.
Okay, now we move on to the next topic, which is place. Place refers to more than just physical space. It's about creating experience, meaning, and emotional connection through urban design. Place is divided into 6 categories that work together to shape how we experience the city. Let's go through each one with examples. The first one is ownership and use of space. First one is possession. Possession is calming space through human presence. Second is occupied territory, which is area defined by active use. Third one is possession in movement, which is owning space through walking experience. Fourth one is advantage, which is strategic position and hence spatial engagement. The fifth one is precincts, which is designated zone with unique identity. The second categories are emotional and psychological impact. They are insubstantial space, which is lacks meaning, purpose, or identity, and darkness, powerful sense of spatial presence. And then enclave, which is intimate areas set apart distinctly. Next one is mystery, which is design evokes curiosity and wonder. The last one is the maw. The maw is overwhelming entryway, evokes emotional response. The third categories are journey and movement. Here and there, which is connection between viewer and destination. The second one is hazards, which is challenge, influence spatial user behavior. The third one is deflection, which is the redirected path, changes spatial experience. The fourth one is continuity, which is seamless spatial transition between elements. The fifth one is projection and recession, which is building parts push and pull visually. The last one is pedestrian ways, which is path shape for foot traffic. The fourth category are enclosure and spatial definition. The first one is enclosure. Enclosure is space surrounded for user comfort. Second one is indoor landscape and outdoor room, which is outdoor treated like indoor space. The third one is outdoor room and enclosed, which is defined outside space mimics interior. The fourth one is multiple enclosure, which is layer of enclosed spatial sequence. The fifth one is blockhouse, which is massive structure dominates surrounding context. And then defining space, which is elements, shape, and frame environment. 7. Closure, which is ending spatial experience through boundaries. 8. Division of space, which is breaking area into functional zones. The last one is recession, which is visual depth from spatial retreat. The fifth categories are composition and form. First, incident, which is small detail breaks visual monotony. Second, punctuation, which is elements interrupt space for emphasis. Third, narrows, which is constricted area heightens spatial intimacy. Fourth, fluctuation, which is changing width or forms affect rhythm. Fifth, undulation, which is flowing surface create visual movement. 6. Netting, which is foreground frames and layers background. 6. Silhouette, which is outline shapes buildings distinct character. 7. Handsome gesture, which is bold forms adds urban drama. 8. Linking and joining the floor, which is ground connects spatial elements and harmoniously. The last one is geometry, which is shapes organized and structure space. The last category are visual experience and drama. First, focal point. Focal point is main feature draws visual attention. Second, screen vista, which is partial view tease visual continuity. Third, looking out of enclosure, which is frame views from inside enclosure. Fourth, grandiose vista, which is expansive view evokes emotional awe. 5. Looking into enclosure, which is glimpsing inviting enclosed external space. 6. Close vista, which is terminated view strengthens spatial focus. 7. Pinpointing. Pinpointing is highlighting one precise spatial elements. 8. Anticipation, which is hinting at what comes next. 9. Truncation, which is blocking view to create curiosity. 10. Infinity, which is view extend endlessly. 11. Change of level, which is vertical difference alters spatial perceptions. 12. Mystery, obstruct path invites spatial exploration. 13. Silhouette, which is outline shapes urban spatial identity. And the last one is the maw, dark opening creates dramatic suspense. Last but not least, there are a state by Gordon Cullen, which is a successful urban place is not just an arrangement of buildings and roads. It's a carefully composed experience that creates a sense of belonging, emotion, and meaning for those who move through it.
5.0 Content. We have 3: sensory and emotional experience, visual composition and contrast, and human scale and relationship. Let's see one by one. Sensory and emotional experience. Immediacy. Sense of being fully present in a space without mediation for direct experience. For example, central market. So, intimacy. A feeling of closeness, comfort, and personal connection, like Penang Peranakan. Also, nostalgia. A sentimental longing for the past, we can see a Kelly Castle. Animism, attributing life or spirit to inanimate object or place like batu cave. Illusion, design that play with perception or create an unexpected visual or special effect. For example, Salon Maling. Next is Petronas Twin Tower. Show artisans the unique essence of individuality of a thing or place. And for White Peacock, a metaphor for something rare, striking and unexpectedly beautiful, like Masjid Crystal. Also, noticeable absence, an emotional reaction to what isn't there, like a forest city. Visual composition and contrast. Juxtaposition. The placement of contrasting urban elements side by side to highlight their difference and create visual tension or harmony, like Sultan Abdul Samad building. For foil, one element enhances the character of another through contrast revealing each more clearly, like Kampung Baru and KLCC. Net further exposure, the deliberate revealing of a space, view, or structure to evoke emotion such as aware or openness, like a rainbow skywalk. Next is a geometry. Masjid Wilayah Persekutuan. The use of a clear shape, the line and form to bring structure, order and rhythm to the urban environment. Next is building as sculpture, like Masjid Zahid. Architecture form created as visual shape to be expressive, dramatic and emotionally engaged. Also, distortion. For example, Merdeka 118. The international manipulation of form or perspective to provoke surprise, tension or focus. Also, calligraphy at Dubai. For example, the use of following expressive line in urban design seen in pathway, railing or tree line to add elegance and movement. Human scale and relationship. First is a scale. For example, Kwai Chai Hong. How building related to human size comfort come from proportion we can relate it. Second is scale on plan. Chorasta Market. How space feel in real life compared to how it look on a map small space matter. Third is relationship. Taiping Lake. The way building and space connect visually and physically to create harmony. Next is Bank Negara for propriety. Design that fit in context, appropriate in mood, scale and character. Also, multiple use. The curve. Space that serve different activities, making place lively and social. The last one is tree incorporated. Tree shape, space offer comfort and add beauty and natural rhythm. For example, from Skywalk.
So let's talk about content. In the content, it have a narrative and symbolism, complexity, and richness of experience. The last one is about function and approaches. So let's talk about narrative and symbolism. In narrative and symbolism, it have a metaphor for space to represent something deeper, a starway as a journey or progress. And the other one is about telltale, the architecture or object that hint at a story or past event. Like if you see the picture, it's about the Georgetown at Penang. It has a memorable and nostalgic during that time. Then we're going to talk about publicity. It was a bold visual elements that grab attention or express identity. Next is a significant object, like a landmark that carries meaning beyond its function. So when you see the picture, it was about the Tokyo Tower at Japan. Then the white peacock, an unexpected or unique object that surprise and add charms. So when you see at the picture, you was like, oh my god, it was a landmark, or what can I say, it was a unique design. The last one about narrative and symbolism is about animism. It was a giving life or character to building or landscape, like a building looks angry. So certain of character of building, some artists left, some architecture left to make a unique design. like the building can have an expression. So next is about complexity and notion of experience, like intricacy for fine detail or small layer that invite closer looks. When you see the picture, it was about the mosque and Iran, and the other one is about entanglement, like overlapping elements that create a rich, messy but lively free. Uh, and then we're gonna talk about secret town. It was hidden corner or roads that feel personal or undiscovered. Then it have a categorical landscape, like a clear division of landscape of elements, like water, path, greenery, and others, like a layering. As you can see, the picture is about uh, garden layering at Singapore. Then we're going to talk about urbanity, a sense of sophisticated, that lively urban life and polish. Then tell me with that, the controlling space generally without killing its character, like at Japan. So the last one we're going to talk about function and appropriateness. The priority, the propriety, like the Greece, like Greece, the space feel appropriate to its location, culture, and use. It belongs naturally in the setting. Like when you see the picture by the video, all are white because it was near to the sea. Then we're going to talk about geometry, the use of clear shapes and alignment to organize space and create harmony in the layout. And the picture is about at Paris, France. Then it have a multiple use, a single space that can serve several functions such as gathering, resting, or performing like a concert. And the last one is about Tamina with tech, the controlling the environment softly, improving function without losing its original character. Like when you see the surrounding area, it's about city, but when you see at the gathering, at the center area, it was full of forest at the USA, yeah, the state of kingdom.